All hail the children, youngster test power of the gavel at the House of Representatives.
Honorable Obara, please lead the debate.
We urge the federal government to prioritize policies that support children's health.
President Tinubu's 6th National Assembly's approval for the 2025-2026 external borrowing plan.
We have broadly around 7 to 8 major programs. One of them is the Southeast Security Intervention Program.
100 days of Southeast Development Commission. President Tinubu thumbs up strategic vision. Good evening and welcome to the Network News on NTA. I am Elizabeth Omori. Our busy businessman, Benny Adams, will bring us some business reports. Benny?
Well, good news for investors in Nigeria's stock market as the all-share index crosses 110,000 benchmark, and investors are smiling home with more than 1 trillion naira today at the end of transaction.
And Francisca Bile will give us some updates in the world of sports. Francisca.
Of course, Team Delta has emerged champions of the women's football event at the 2024 National Sports Festival in Ogun State.
Thank you. And here's a quick reminder that you can follow this newscast live on our website, nt.ng/live, NT News now on X, NT Network News on Facebook, and other handles displayed on the screen. Here's the news. President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Lagos ahead of the 50th anniversary of the Economic Community of West African States to hold tomorrow. He was received on arrival at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, by a delegation led by the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. There was also a military honor for the president. President Tinubu will join other regional leaders and dignitaries to celebrate the 50 years existence of the regional bloc. The presidential advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, stated that President Tinubu, chairman of ECOWAS, will highlight the economic bloc's milestones at Eco Hotels and Suites while in Lagos. President Tinubu will on Saturday, May 31, inaugurate some projects of his administration. Among them are Section 1 of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, Lekki Deep Sea Port Tax Credit Concrete Road, and the flag-off of Section 2 of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway and the 7th Axel Road. President Tinubu will observe the Eid al-Kabir prayers at the State House Dodon Barracks before returning to Abuja. To regional development, President Bola Tinubu has commended the strategic vision and plans of the Southeast Development Commission, which have been designed to enhance the renewed hope agenda for development in the region. The president expressed satisfaction after he was briefed by the managing director of the commission, Mark Okoye, on activities of the commission in the first 100 days of inauguration. The managing director revealed that his commission has mapped out a 7-point plan to contribute to the growth of the southeastern part of the country. He highlighted major programs to include security intervention, agro-development, economic and industrialization scheme, venture capital program, housing and sports development.
We have broadly around 70.
Now in other news, the nation celebrates 2025 Children's Day. President Bola Tinubu says his administration will prioritize child protection and their well-being under the Renewed Hope agenda, in addition to the full implementation of Nigeria's National Plan of Action on Ending Violence Against Children 2024 to 2030, which was recently launched. In his message, President Tinubu states that the administration is committed to every Nigerian child and is taking decisive steps to prevent, detect and respond to all forms of violence against children, noting that the government has initiated a comprehensive review of the Child Rights Act 2003, already passed into law in the 36 states. The president says the administration has introduced a national policy on safety, security and violence-free schools, as well as developed guidelines for school administrators. And through the National Commission for Al-Majiri and Out-of-School Children, the government has created inclusive pathways for every child to learn, thrive and succeed regardless of background. Still on the celebration, Nigerian children are the heartbeat of the nation, and as such, there must be a renewed commitment to their education, opening more doors for them to acquire requisite knowledge and skills needed to guarantee a good future. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, stated this while inaugurating the Agile Additional Financing Project and the Agile Games Award ceremony as part of activities marking this year's Children's Day in the country. State House correspondent Adeni Itaiwo tells us more.
They represent a major segment of any society, the joy of the present and the hope of the future. And on a day dedicated to celebrating and highlighting issues affecting them around the world, they also have a lot to say, their voices and messages ringing through in colorful presentations.
You are enough. You are bold, you are strong, you are special. You are love deserving. Everyone deserves love.
That is what integrity. You say what you mean and you mean.
As the day unfolds, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu joined the celebration, noting that key interventions such as the Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment, Agile, is expanding across the country with significant impact to the benefit of children.
I am pleased to learn that Agile project is significantly contributing to reducing the burden of out-of-school children in our communities by increasing secondary school enrollment among adolescent girls in Nigeria. It is on the strength of the impact of the project that is now being extended to 14 new states through additional financing, bringing the total of Agile benefiting states to 21 nationwide.
While highlighting the expectations, the First Lady notes that children equally have responsibilities even at their tender age.
Your efforts, innovation and courage is worthy of celebration. Keep learning, keep creating, and know that your potential to make a real difference in Nigeria is limitless.
From 21 states are now on board the Agile Project platform, leveraging additional financing.
As we honor our children today, let us remember no child should be forced to choose between safety and school, between culture and dignity. We owe them more, and through Agile and through our actions at state level, we are beginning to deliver on that program.
And to the Nigerian children, our change makers, our hope, rest assured that you are seen, you are heard, and you are valued.
As a special highlight, the First Lady joined the children in cutting the anniversary cake. From the banquet hall of the presidential villa, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, it was a historic moment at the Senate as senators hosted children in the Red Chamber in commemoration of the 2025 Children's Day. Also today, 3 requests from President Tinubu were communicated to the National Assembly for consideration and approval. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Call it an experience of a lifetime. The presence of these children in the hallowed chamber was exciting, added to which is the pledge by the Senate to ensure the provision of the right environments for the leaders of tomorrow to thrive.
This Children's Day is dedicated to raising awareness of issues that affect the Nigerian child and reaffirming national commitments to the protection, education and development of children.
We pledge to prioritize policies and programs that protect your rights, that will promote your welfare and unlock the potentials within you. And this time around, on a day like this, we dare to say, pro-children of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Senator Oju Zakalu, on his part, urged Nigerians to reflect on the efforts of the father of the nation, President Tinubu, for the betterment of all segments of Nigerians.
And it's also for the interest of everybody, both the North and the South, for Tinubu to come back. President Tinubu is not going to be a president voted by the South alone. He will be a president that will be voted by North and South.
Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, at plenary, expressed appreciation to President Tinubu for his assent to the establishment of tertiary institutions across the country.
And how do you develop the use of this country? It's through providing institutions such as these in order to get them, developed in terms of education, in terms of skills, in order for them to be able to be useful to themselves in their adulthood and also be useful to this nation.
The lawmakers later settled to the business of the day, commencing with the reading of communications from President Tinubu for the approval of both the Senate and House of Representatives. The requests are for the 2025 to 2026 external borrowing plan and the raising of forex in the domestic markets.
To accelerate economic growth, earn foreign exchange, drive infrastructure development, create jobs, and yield reasonable returns on investment.
Also requested is an approval to issue bonds to enable settlement of liabilities under the contributory pension scheme.
In the domestic market, by the Debt Management Office to settle FGN pension obligations under the contributory pension scheme as of December 31st, 2023.
Other features at plenary include the laying of the report of the Conference Committee for harmonization of the 4 tax reform bills. The report will expectedly be considered and adopted as plenary Wednesday. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And Speaker, House of Representatives Abbas Tajuddin urges citizens to speak up against child labor and bullying wherever they occur in society, stressing that enforcement of existing laws will guarantee a safe and supportive environment for children to be nurtured. He stated this at an interactive session with students from 10 secondary schools in the Federal Capital Territory who were in Parliament to mark the Children's Day. National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ikmen reports.
How can brain drain, which is popularly known as Japa syndrome, be prevented in Nigeria? What is the government doing about child labor and trafficking?
The Speaker notes that challenges with child labor and bullying can be surmounted if citizens break the circle of silence to allow relevant agencies implement existing laws and policies.
Open your mouth. Talk, not only on yourself. Don't wait for somebody to bully you. When you see somebody bullying another, be the first to go and complain. If action is not taken by the school, escalate it, even anonymously. If you are afraid that the school authority will reprimand you. I hope you not declare my seat vacant after taking over.
At plenary, the House further demonstrates value for child engagement and inclusion when the Speaker vacates his seat temporarily for Lawal Sani of Government Secondary School, Kuje, Abuja, to serve as pro tem Speaker.
Honorable Ogbara, please lead the debate.
We urge the federal government to prioritize policies that support children's health, education, and welfare, while improving investments in ICT infrastructure, particularly in rural communities.
Those against should say nay.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
The ayes have it.
The mood changes to sober reflection as the House, in a valedictory session, honors the memory of 5 members who died in active service within the last 1 year. They are late Adewumi Ononuga from Ogun State, who was Deputy Whip, Abdulkadri Dambuga from Sokoto State, Isa Dogonyaro from Jigawa State, Olaide Akinremi from Oyo State, and Ekene Adams from Kaduna State.
Each served with distinction, passion, and tireless dedication to their country and constituents.
The Southwest lost someone that for us to replace her as a woman, we still need to pray hard.
The best way to remember them is to carry these ideals from where they left it
to where it ought to be.
Family members also offered tributes in honor of the late lawmakers who will be remembered for devoted public service. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
May 27, a day set aside by the United Nations General Assembly to promote the welfare and rights of children. In this report, Ngozi Teknikio assesses progress made in promoting children's rights and welfare, highlighting challenges and opportunities that lie ahead for our younger ones.
In Nigeria, Children's Day is celebrated on May 27, a tradition since 1964, focusing on promoting children's welfare and rights. Despite efforts to promote their rights, many Nigerian children face challenges such as poverty, limited access to quality education, healthcare, and security issues. However, there is hope. Various initiatives are on the way to improve their lives, with government and organizations working tirelessly to ensure a better future for the next generation.
Many girls want to be here, but I don't think it's everybody that has the opportunity to be in a science school.
Not everyone has the access. I am in this school because my parents have paid the monies necessary. Okay, what of the girls in the villages?
We come together as a block, to speak as a block, and to also find a path towards ensuring that our children on the African continent are well protected.
But Nigeria particularly, we have ratified conventions that prohibit violence against children, especially child labor.
12-year-old Aisha shares her thoughts on what she hopes for on this special day and beyond.
I want the Children's Day to when all children will be happy. They'll never forget the day and fun like other games.
What I like most about Children's Day is the fact that they're celebrating all children and to know that their rights will never be violated but will always be promoted. Children's Day is like being fun and you'll be happy and you'll be super excited.
The call is to work together to create a society that values, protects, and empowers our young ones. In Abuja, Ngozi Teknikio, NTA News.
Thank you, Ngozi. Time to take a break. More on children's rights when we return after the break. To stay with us. Thanks for staying with the NTA. And back to our 2025 Children's Day celebration. Youngsters across Nigeria joined in commemorating this year's celebration. And in Dutse, the capital of Jigawa State, the celebration held at the Aminu Kano Triangle, which brought together pupils, students, government officials and stakeholders to reflect on issues affecting children and their future. Mohammed Musa Skira brings us details.
2025 Children's Day celebration in Dutse was a colorful and impactful event held at the Aminu Kano Triangle. The occasion served as a platform to highlight critical issues affecting children, including their rights to quality education, decent living, proper nutrition, and protection from all forms of abuse.
Appreciate what the government does.
Governor Umar Namadi, represented by his deputy Aminu Usman Gumel, reaffirmed the state commitments to the welfare and development of children. He stressed the Jigawa state governments will not condone child labor or any dehumanizing activities involving children.
The addressing of out-of-school children is one of the key areas of focus of our government to ensure that every child in the Jigawa state has access to quality education.
Stakeholders at the event commended the Jigawa state government for its sustained efforts in promoting the rights and well-being of children. They emphasized the need for continuous collaboration to ensure children grow in a safe, supportive and enabling environment. A highlight of the celebration was the presentation of the newly approved national anthem and the National Values Charter programs by the National Orientation Agency Jigawa State Office. The materials were introduced for adoption and use by the students and pupils to foster patriotism and national consciousness from a young age. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
To celebrate the energy, creativity and joy of Nigerian children, Indomie Fan Club hosted thousands of children from across schools in Lagos State. A day filled with exciting activities at the Apapa Amusement Park, venue of the celebration, where the wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, used the occasion to remind the children to stay away from all forms of abuse, including sexual and gender-based violence, as well as drug-related activities. Diana Ajale brings us more.
The Indomie Fan Club Children's Day celebration is an annual event that brings joy to children who love Indomie noodles. The children were engaged in unlimited fun games and other educational activities, including arts and crafts, face painting, and stage performances.
So thank you for hosting us and happy 20th anniversary. I'm very proud to be an Indomie Fan Club member. Young League Indomie. And also, I also say thank you for hosting us into this special event.
With more than 100,000 children from different schools being members of the Indomie Fan Club, guest of honor Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu commended management of Dufi Primary Foods Limited for their unwavering commitment to nurturing the potential of Nigerian children and for their consistently celebrating youngsters over the years, describing the platform as one of the largest and most impactful child engagement program in Nigeria.
Today's event is not just about fun and entertainment, it is about purpose, it is about inspiring creativity. This is a community service project. Thank you very much for doing all this through Indomie Fan Club.
Management of Indomie Fan Club speaks more of the initiative.
So we want to see millions of kids in the club. We want to see the brand help assisting these children in bringing out their creativity, assisting these children in supporting their education, and then taking them forward in every way we can.
I want to, on behalf of the Chief Executive and Management, wish all children in Nigeria happy Children's Day, and as a brand Indomie, we will continue to support them year in, year out.
The celebration showcased Indomie's fan club commitment to nurturing happiness and connection among young Nigerians. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Away from the 2025 Children's Day celebration, Saudi Arabia authorities have officially announced the sighting of the Zulhijjah moon. The moon sighting confirms Thursday, June 5, 2025 as a day of Arafah and Friday, June 6, 2025 as Eid al-Adha. The authority confirms Wednesday, May 28, 2025 as first day of Zulhijjah 1446 AH, signaling the start of the most sacred month in the Islamic calendar. Let's talk education. In line with the national commitment to provide accessible and functional education, heads of state advocacy teams have been inaugurated with a mandate to prioritize education of Almajiris and out-of-school children. The move is to ensure that the Nigerian child gets qualitative education anywhere in the country with ease. They are faced with harsh realities, which include poverty, exploitation, and neglect. The good news is that with this inauguration of 8 heads of state or advocacy teams, Almajiri and out-of-school children can actualize their potential through inclusive education for a safe and informed society.
I charge you to be proactive and innovative in your approach, thinking outside the box to reach the most vulnerable population.
Engage critical stakeholders from government officials to community leaders to create a comprehensive strategy that addresses the root causes.
Let us also arm ourselves with all the religious proof that is required to tell this man actually exposing this child to this kind of hardship is un-Islamic, is un-religious.
They're expected to drive campaigns that align with the agenda of the federal government to tackle educational challenges.
By meeting with the stakeholders, we're able to come out with real solutions.
They say this is a call to action towards building a better society. Not fewer than 150 Quranic reciters from the 44 local government areas of Kano State are taking part in the final stage of a Quranic recitation competition in honor of late Alhaja Abibat Magaji Tinubu. Shehu Adamo reports that the convener, who is the special advisor to the president on Senate matters, Bashir Garbalado, says the event is a tribute to a woman whose life was defined by devotion to Islam and impact on commerce.
The Quranic recitation competition draws more than 4,000 young participants from all the 44 local government areas of Kano State. After preliminaries, 450 contestants advanced to the zonal stages, from where 150 qualified boys and girls are now competing in the finals of the competition in different categories. With support from renowned scholars and judges from within and outside the country, including Al-Azhar University, Cairo, the competition is beyond religious knowledge, but an affirmation of Kano's historic role as a center of Islamic learning.
المرحومة الحاجة حبيبة والدة رئيس الجمهورية.
Myself in Nigeria, among my brothers and sisters in Islam, I am very grateful to Mr. President for this very important gathering. Alhamdulillah, I am very grateful also for the standard of these participants. Very nice recitation of Quran, very nice memorization of the Quran.
Convener of the Memorial Quranic Recitation Competition and special advisor to the President on Senate matters, Senator Bashir Garbalado, said the event is apolitical and not tied to partisanship and campaign. The Quranic Recitation Competition is a tribute to the mother of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, led Al-Haja Habibat Mogaji Tinubu, whose life symbolized motherhood, faith, philanthropism, and impact on commerce. In Kano, Shehu Adamu, NTA News.
Now let's shift attention to housing. In a bid to deliver outstanding services that will provide balance in the delivery of affordable houses to Nigerians, new board of directors of the Federal Mortgage Bank, MBN, have been inaugurated by the Minister of Housing, Ahmed Musa Dangiwa. The event held at the ministry's conference hall had notable politicians, including the former governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, in attendance. Housing correspondent Francis Odojo reports.
The inauguration of the FMBN's new board of directors created an opportunity for the housing management and that of FMBN to remind themselves of the renewed hope plans of President Tinubu towards the delivery of affordable houses to Nigerians. The Minister of Housing, Ahmed Musa Dangiwa, said is expected to have capable hands that will help drive its mandate to the benefits of Nigerians.
You must know that you are not here to simply endorse decisions. You are here to lead reforms, drive oversight, and ensure transparency and unlock the full potential of the bank.
In 2024, as outlined in our management accounts, the bank made an operational surplus of 11.5 billion naira. With prudent management and growing operations, we are on track for another surplus in 2025.
I believe that the coming of the board will enable us to achieve greater milestones. As I stand here today, I am reminded that leadership is not about title or a position. It's about service.
From the introduction of all the members, from the chairman to all other members of the board to the management staff, you could see that Mr. President is putting the square peg in the square hole.
Since its establishment in 1993, it has delivered about 39,000 new homes, 25,500 mortgages, and over 120,000 micro-housing loans, all within single-digit interest rate. Francis Udojo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Regional Development, through the North-East Development Commission, plans to construct regional air and rail lines to connect various parts of the sub-region. Minister of State for Regional Development, Uba Meigari Hamadu, accompanied by NEDC management, announced this while interfacing with Governor Babagana Umar Zulum at the Government House, Maiduguri. Mohamed Goni reports.
The Minister of State for Regional Development, accompanied by the chairman and members of the House of Representatives Committee on Northeast Development Commission, as well as board members and management of the commission, is in Maiduguri to officially inaugurate and hand over 13 projects executed in the state by the NEDC.
Within a very short time, establish the Northeast Regional Airline to connect the states of the Northeast and maximize opportunities with our neighbors, Republic of Chad, Nigeria, and Cameroon. We also have on the table, Your Excellency, a Northeast rail line to link the region and ultimately terminate the Calabar port.
Can we now identify our priorities? Security, road infrastructure, which are very key, dry port, African free intercontinental trade zone within the Northeast sub-region, power supply, amongst others, are some of our key demands that henceforth we shall look into.
Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on NEDC, Usman Zanna, appreciated the support and cooperation of the Borno State government to the NEDC, which he said has enabled the agency discharge its statutory responsibilities. Managing Director of the NEDC, Dr. Mohamed Goni Al-Khali, said the 13 projects to be inaugurated and handed over to the Borno State government are part of the over 70 projects executed within the state by the Commission. In Maiduguri, Mohamed Goni, NTA News.
This is the Network News on NTA. Let's take another break, and when we return, business news will be up with our busy businessman, Benny Adams. Stay with us. Nice to know you're still there. Devon Kings, known for its high-quality, nutritious and affordable cooking oils, has continued to prioritize the demands of its consumers and customers with the introduction of its newest product, Devon Kings Soya Oil, crafted from the finest soybeans. Lynn Leneke, who witnessed the unveiling of the product, reports.
Over the years, Devon King's vegetable oil has dominated the Nigerian market, making it a household requirement in kitchens. It has been celebrated for its versatility and premium quality. The introduction of Devon King's soya oil expands the company's product range, providing even more delicious and healthy cooking options for its valued consumers.
Devon King's soya oil, a product crafted with care, fortified with vitamin A and E, and rich in essential nutrients such as omega-3 and omega-6, the finest soya unmatched value.
The head marketing, Devon Kings, explained that the company has consistently delivered healthy, nutritious products backed by quality and trust.
Our consumers have trusted us to deliver best quality in each of our products, be it our oil, our cooking margarine, or our spreads. And today we have extended that offering to Devon King's soya oil, which is our new baby. And as you would imagine, when it comes to soya, Devon King's soya oil is the best.
For other management staff of Devon King's, the introduction of Devon King's soya oil is a direct response to the evolving needs of consumers.
It is derived from the finest soya oil to give you nothing but top-notch quality, not blended, not diluted. It doesn't smoke, it doesn't smell, and it doesn't change the taste of your food.
Our trade partners are really very important in this launch. They are the first point of contact to our consumers. They're able to communicate our values and benefits of Devon King's soya in the marketplace.
Devon Cooking Oil, a well-established brand in Nigeria, has continued to stay true to its heritage. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
It's time to talk business, and Benny is ready.
Thank you. More business to ensure performance and delivery of the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. The Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning is re-engineering its processes for improved accountability to ensure government resources deliver measurable outcomes to meet public expectations. This was at a retreat on the implementation of the performance management system organized for top management and chief executive officers of affiliated ministries, agencies under the ministry. The three-day retreat, which seeks to improve the efficiency and productivity of the ministry and its agencies, will feature the signing of performance bond by the CEOs on behalf of their respective agencies.
It's going to help the National Bureau of Statistics to deliver more as we have been doing before, because what the performance contract of each staff of National Bureau of Statistics, we know their functions, we know where they are working for government, and we know how the delivery of their function effectively will translate into overall development of their country.
The essence of performance so that people can be accountable. People can be assigned to specific jobs. And when you are assigned to specific job, you are measured, your performance is measured by the specific job.
Now, the need to promote investment through efficient resource management is essential for enhancing ease of doing business in Nigeria. This is as the Managing Director of the Nigerian Agricultural Insurance Corporation, Yazid Mfulani, commits to providing insurance cover to Nigeria's agricultural sector with a view to proving and providing more funds for better agricultural output for food security.
My immediate priority is to strengthen the operational efficiency of NAIC by ensuring our services are more accessible and are also beneficial to farmers. And we are also going to provide more funds so that farmers will strive.
And a quick look at the markets. The Nigerian equities market sustained a bullish trend, surpassing the 110,000 mark as the all-share index gained 157 basis points to close at 111,606.22 basis points, up from 109,884.92 basis points on Monday. Investors gained 1.9 trillion, with market capitalization closing at 70.38 trillion on sustained interest in Airtel Africa amongst 32 other stocks. South Africa GSE Top 40 appreciated by 0.01%. That is a marginal increase in the stocks, while the Tunisia Twin Index went down by 0.17%. Elizabeth, this is it on business at this time.
Thank you so much, Benny. President Bola Tinubu has halted the ongoing seal-up exercise of property in default of ground rent payments in the FCT, granting a 14-day grace period to settle outstanding obligations and regularize title documents. FCT Director of Land Administration announced this while briefing the media in Abuja. Onoze Yakubu reports.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, has intervened.
The FCT Director of Land Administration says with the intervention of President Bola Tinubu, holders of the affected property have been granted 2 weeks to settle the outstanding ground rent, but with a caveat of applicable penalties. This includes paying a penalty of 5 million naira for property owners in the central area in addition to the ground rent owed, while those in Maitama, Asokoro, Wuse 2 and Wuzape districts will pay 3 million naira as penalty alongside their ground rent arrears. Those in Wuse 1, Garki 1 and Garki 2 will pay a penalty charge of 2 million naira each in addition to the outstanding ground rent.
All those who purchased properties from other people but are yet to register their interests by obtaining the mandatory minister's consent and registering their deeds of assignment now have 41 days to do so.
He also restates that a 14-day grace period has been given to all property holders in the FCT to pay their right of occupancy and certificate of occupancy CFO bills or risk revocation of their titles. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu extends heartfelt congratulations to Alhaja Raliat Amokbi Abdurazak, the first female councillor in Kwara State and mother of the governor of Kwara State, on his 95th birthday. President Tinubu, in a statement, celebrates Alhaja Abdurazak's achievements and prays for Allah's continued blessings for the nonagenarian as she marks the remarkable milestone. The president also congratulates respected figure in the oil and gas industry, Mutiu Sumono, on his 70th birthday. The president joins family and friends of the former Shell MD to celebrate his commitment to national development and prays for God's continued blessings on him. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has appointed new members for the governing councils of University of Abuja, University of Nigeria Nsukka, and Nnamdi Azikiwe University Awka. For University of Abuja, President Tinubu appoints 4 new members to the governing council consisting of representatives of different zones of the country. The president also appointed 2 people to fill the vacancies in the governing councils of the University of Nigeria Nsukka and 4 representatives from across the country to fill the vacancies at Nnamdi Azikiwe University Awka. Let's take a last break. You're still watching the network news on NTA, and it's time to talk sports. Francisca is our guide.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Welcome to Sports Update. Team Delta are champions of the women's football event at the National Sports Festival after a 7-6 penalty shootout win over the invited junior athletes. The match ended goalless in regulation time as IJM missed 2 spot kicks to hand Team Delta the gold. Elsewhere, the final match of the men's football event between host Ogun and Kwara is currently ongoing, with the first half ended 4-1 in favor of the host, who netted 2 quick-fire goals in the opening 10 minutes of the game. To tennis, Novak Djokovic bid for a record-breaking 25th Grand Slam singles title is on at the French Open after a 6-3, 6-3 victory over world number 98 Mackenzie McDonald. Djokovic, who turned 38 last week, has now won all 21 of the first-round matches he has played at the Roland Garros and will next play the winner of the all-French match between Corentin Moutet and Clément Tabor. Now, Great British Jack Draper recovered from a sluggish start for another landmark with the first French Open win of his career. The 5th seed secured a 3-6, 6-1, 6-4, 6-2 victory over Italy's Mattia Bellocci. The 23-year-old Englishman's victory ensured 6 British singles players won in the French Open first round for the first time since 1973. But as the size of a package is back to Elizabeth.
Thank you, Francisca. The Medical Laboratory Science Council of Nigeria announces funeral arrangements for their late registrar and CEO, Professor Tosin Irabo, who passed on at the age of 60. A service of songs will hold at Chapel of Life Parish, Redeemed Christian Church of God, Province 4. Garki, Abuja on the 28th of May 2025. Another service of songs on the 30th of May at his residence, 5 Imadi Street, Benin City, Edo State, while interment and reception will hold the following day at the same venue. And that's the news. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Good night.